Guys, yesterday I had the best experience I've ever had sourcing product from China. It was so efficient. The entire process took 4 days. From me requesting samples to getting them, I got 12 different designs sent to me and I got to test them all and try them out. And I did it without using Alibaba or any online website like that. See, yesterday when I showed up to my place, I had a box. It's about this size from DHL that had those 12 samples in there of the product I want, different variations of it, different models, from I believe 3 different factories in total. So I got to sit down immediately and try them all out one by one and figure out which ones were the quality and also met the standards I needed. See, I tried to source this product from Alibaba. I had 4 or 5 of them. They're literally sitting right here on the ground that were shipped to me. But the problem is I'm trying to combine 2 products together for this product, but they need to fit exactly. I can't afford to redesign them and spend all that money when I don't need to. So I know based on the samples I got from Amazon that these products exist out there somewhere. Like the exact dimensions that I need for these products, the exact size, they're out there somewhere. I just have to get a hold of them, figure out who's manufacturing them. So the problem with dealing with Alibaba, you guys know, it's so hard to communicate with these suppliers and ask them really specific questions like, hey, can you take out your caliper and actually measure this and show me exactly how big it is? And even just trying to point to the exact dimension I need them to measure is difficult. It's difficult. So I decided I'd just get 4 or 5 of them sent to me from Alibaba. I mean, it's like, $30 a sample. So I spent $150 on samples here. By the way, I spent like absolutely nothing getting this stuff shipped to me. I mean, DHL was like $30 and the samples were like probably $10-15. So, anyways, I did all that, got all these samples from Alibaba, and it wasn't what I wanted. They weren't right. They weren't right. The quality wasn't there, and they weren't the correct dimensions. So I said, let's do plan B. And plan B was dealing with a sourcing agent who can go to the sourcing, the market in Yiwu. Because a lot of you aren't familiar with this market in Yiwu. It's a massive, massive building full of 70,000 vendors. Most of these vendors are reps from factories themselves. A lot of them are also trading companies. But this is literally what there's 70,000 booths that look like this. They're just full of products. And the entire thing is, literally the buildings are 7 kilometers long. That is how many buildings there are. And so there will be an entire building dedicated to cell phone accessories. And you'll have an entire floor that has that. So you could just go from booth to booth to booth, find different manufacturers, and get samples for the exact product that you want. Now, obviously, I'm not in China. I have been to this market before. Previously, I went about it's got to be 2 years ago now. I went to China one time. I went with my girlfriend because she was going on this trip as part of a course she was in at the time. This was shortly after we met. So I'd been there, and when I was there, they partnered us with a sourcing agent. Now, the sourcing agent is just a girl who is very familiar with the Yiwu market. She actually works in one of these booths herself. And so she literally just helped. I showed her exactly what I wanted, and she helped us guide us around the market, and I was able to pick up samples from the product I wanted. The problem was I found out that they couldn't meet the needs of the product I wanted. See, I was trying to source products for kitchen use, okay? Stuff people are putting in their mouths and stuff. And I need these FDA certifications. Like, I need to make sure this product is going to be good if we get questioned at the border, crossing the border into America. Well, the problem is, I come to find out that it's just not a good place to source those kind of products because a lot of these. So you need to understand in China, there's different types of factories. A lot of factories don't do any export. They only manufacture for people in China, or they only export to Africa, or they only export to the Middle East. And so it was really, really like almost impossible to find anybody who even knew what the FDA was because they weren't products. You go on Alibaba, and these people are used to sending out to first world countries, the U.S. and Europe, and so they are a lot more familiar with this stuff. But in Yiwu, that just was not the case. So I really came away quite disappointed that I got all these samples, but I found out later I couldn't use them. On day 2, I was just so disappointed by that fact, and it felt like a big waste of time. But for the product that I need, and honestly, most of the products you're doing, you don't need that kind of stuff. So what I was able to have this sourcing agent that I still have a relationship with, and I'll show you how to get a sourcing agent here that can actually do this. She literally I sent her pictures of what I wanted. I had those samples from Amazon. I said, hey, can you go find this and send me as many as you can find? So she just went to the floor the next day. The next day I told her that I told her this. Went there, got these 12 samples, labeled them all so she would know which ones were which when I sent her what I liked. And then they showed up in my house a couple of days later from DHL. It's phenomenal sourcing experience. And so I got so many more samples so quickly of exactly, was able to find exactly what I wanted. And so far I'm super happy. And the prices also, I mean, sometimes you'll get that Alibaba tax, which you need to be aware of. Some people out there are just trading companies, and they have high prices. That's why you've got to weed out the ones with like why is your price 2 times as expensive as the other people? But you just don't see that here in Yiwu. It's Chinese people dealing with Chinese people, and they understand the landscape and how much things should cost. It's kind of a tangent, but the pricing was phenomenal. My gosh, my entire product is going to cost like $1.50 to manufacture. The entire thing. I'm going to sell it for like $15. The margins are going to be pretty dang good. But let's talk about how you can actually get a sourcing agent who can do something like this for you. I can't give out my sourcing agent for you because I've done that before with photographers and stuff. And guess what? I don't ever get to use them again. I already take up a lot of my sourcing agent's time. And obviously, you don't need to go to China and meet somebody. And I was just lucky that when I went on this trip, I got paired with somebody, because we were all paired with somebody when we got there to help us navigate the market, because it's so huge and you will get lost very quickly. So the way I would recommend going about and getting one of these agents if you want, because you literally could just hire somebody, pay them like $10 an hour, and then we'll go to the market and they'll pull the products you want for you, and they will actually help you do this. And then once you go to order the product, typically they charge a percentage of the order as a fee. My sourcing agent says she typically charges 3%. I pay her a lot more than 3%. That just seems so low, but that is on a pretty common percentage. Just a couple percentage points they expect to be paid as part of your order. Now, if you're only ordering $600 worth of stuff, probably should pay them a little bit better than that. I like to pay more like 10% of my orders. So, with that being said, let me show you how you can actually get somebody to do this for you. Honestly, go to Google, type in Yiwu Market Agent, and there are tons of websites. I have not vetted any of these. I don't intend to, because I have somebody that could do it for me. But this will be a good solution. And hopefully somebody in the comments can actually recommend, like, hey, I worked with this person before. You should try them out. And that would be really phenomenal if you guys have. But I'll post a few of these people here that I've vetted, that look good in the description of this video, so you could just click on those 3 websites and go take a look at them. But what you're gonna want is you just want to contact with one person. You don't want to talk to a company. You want to get to know one person who lives in China. You get to know who they are. You get to trust them. And as you build your relationship out with them, you can do this more and more, and they can just do this. I'm gonna be doing the sourcing a lot more. I don't know why I never thought about it, honestly, because I had such a bad experience and was very discouraged from the fact that none of these factories had FDA stuff when I went to go source my products the first time in Yiwu. But dang, I mean, this has been so smooth, so much faster. Like, imagine never having to message anybody on Alibaba ever again. Granted, you still have some of those same issues dealing with these sourcing agents. They still do not have great English. They still have a hard time understanding very specific things from you. But you're talking to one person who can communicate it to the factories in Chinese, and you're not messaging a bunch of people on Alibaba that I'll never get back to you. Some just literally don't seem to know what's going on. So you can actually build a relationship with somebody. And again, I'm not going to say that I'm an expert at any of this, but I was very, very happy yesterday. Super happy. So that's what I recommend. Go check out these links in the description. And if you have experience doing something like this, please give us a little info in the comment section, so we can see exactly how you've done it.